I'm interested now that we're on the sequel and it's a more of a it's a higher budget, higher quality. How do you both look back at the first film? I mean, I know that the critical reception and audience scores weren't exactly crash hot, but then again, the film did really well financially and it's greenlit this one. So how do you look back at that now?
The first film is a bit hard because when I made it, it was initially intended for a VOD DVD market. I had basically no resources. I made certain decisions because I had no resources there just to try, because as a director, I'm just trying to make the best film I can for whatever my limitations are and the money. So I made a bunch of decisions there to make it go down a bit of a campier, sillier route, just have fun with it. And then a lot of people ended up seeing it, and that some people don't like that kind of campy and sillier route. So I made a lot of changes going into the sequel because the budget's gone up. So I don't look back at the first film in a not in a negative way, because obviously it got me to where I am now, but I knew it wasn't the direction to take the franchise forward, and there was a lot of changes which were needed in order to make this successful and take this into a direction which it needed to be taken. Hence why we made the first film a film within the second film, in order to essentially wipe the slate a bit clean and to rejig and change a lot, able to change um, the creatures, make them look more menacing and more scary, like with Winnie the Pooh, we're putting prosthetics on him because now we have more money, to ensure we have really good performances in there. Hence why we're getting like Scott involved with it, and like Simon Callow. Make sure there's a really solid like story overall. Hence why I was able to get like Matt Leslie involved to kind of work with me and kind of like co-write it. So what I'm hoping is everyone's going to see the second, see everything stepped up massively. We've been getting really good responses so far from everyone who's critically seen the second, which is really, obviously that's a huge contrast to to what happened in the first film, because I got slated there. But ultimately, that film was it went well beyond its scale at that point, and that's got us where we needed to be. So I've just kind of put that aside, and now I'll see how people feel about the second and hopefully third.
For me, like when people go, "Oh, have you learned loads of lessons from the first one and stuff?" It's like, no, because it was made in 6 days. It was made in 6 days with like a handful of people and a camera, and we had £20,000. So, and that year we made 46 feature films. Like yeah, literally, and they all got distributed worldwide. I also acted in a film called Dr. Jekyll and a TV show that year. So it was like it was a crazy, crazy
I
year.
can't
It's
even
like,
imagine how stressful making 46,
yeah,
making one
yeah,
is just like, wow, you made one movie? That's crazy. You're
yeah,
like, yeah, we made 46. And
yeah.
one of
No,
them happens to
46.
be this Winnie the
Yeah,
Pooh one that's everywhere.
yeah. That's the thing. It's like that was it was honestly it was on a conveyor belt. I was trying to make 100 films. I'd already done a load, and I wanted to make 100 because I wanted to like make my mark in the industry. And if I got the chance to meet people who could give me some money, I wanted to be like the Terminator producer. It's like if you give him some money, he'll know how to use it because he's only made films on under 50 grand. But Winnie was just honestly on this conveyor belt for me, and also had my acting that I was doing and stuff as well. And then it blew up, and I was like, oh, "Fuck, people are going to see that one." And obviously, if I could, I would have probably like we would have probably just binned what we did and just we would have quickly made a new film. But everything was moving so quick, and it was like, oh, it went viral, but is this going to carry on? I don't know. And then we did some little bit of reshoots, and then oh, it went viral again with the trailer. But it isn't like like honestly, I don't feel like Rhys did a bad job. It was just like Rhys did about he back to back directed 6 films. Like 2 weeks after Winnie won, he was directing a dinosaur film. 2 weeks before that, he directed a Christmas Killer Tree film, and Winnie Two is
There's
what he would have done if he had some time.
the positions we're in at the time, you have differing resources, different time, and you make the best decisions at that time on what you think is right. If I had 3 years to plan the first film, I would have made a much different film probably. And I've had more time and more resources to make the sequel. So I'm hoping people can see that and they like it. And if they do like it, then hopefully the same will happen again with number three, and we can go even bigger and better.